From the most expensive zip code in America, but you can't prove it by this building, this is Air Hamptons. I am Bill McCuddy, and that is one-man band. Jim Turner, you know that. It is the end of the year, and we are talking about all things great on the East End. That's right. It's our Hamptons best and worst of 2025, and that man playing right now is easily one of the best musicians here on the eastern end of Long Island, and I am probably one of the worst hosts. I am Bill McCuddy, and thank you for joining us on this edition, this very special edition, whether you're listening on WLIW-FM or watching on LTV. What a show we have today. Our Person of the Year in the Hamptons. That's right, we've selected someone we think is doing a better job at whatever they're doing out here than anyone else. I wasn't even in the top 100. And that will be at the end of the show, the big ending. In the meantime, this is our kind of year-end sale. Everything must go. We're going to talk about real estate. We had some enormous sales out here this year. The Wall Street Journal says this is roaring back, the Hamptons. I don't know where from, and I don't know what you can get for $1 million, maybe dinner at St. Ambrose, but we're going to talk restaurants with a dear friend of mine. Well, I won't say dear, a very, very good friend of mine. I see this man almost every day, except when he leaves the country and opens way too late. He is from Java Nation, and we're going to talk restaurant dish with Andres Bednini, or just Andrew, or don't call him Andy. My wife came home one day and said, "You don't call him Andy. You've been calling him," and I've been calling him Andy for 10 years, and this is not what he wants. And I don't know what he's been doing to my coffee, but it's delicious. We're also going to talk about the best and worst books of the year with the librarian. Yes. The director of the Bridgehampton Library, Lisa Mickney, is here. She's been on the show before, and she's bringing what she loved reading at the beach, and maybe we'll predict what's going to be big next year. Also, fashion do's and don'ts. Now, I've got a little, if you're listening to this on the radio, I have to tell you, I'm wearing a black suit and a black tie and a white shirt, and I am not a maitre d', and I am doing that for a reason. I think, influenced by Jerry Seinfeld. We're going to talk about all things fashionable. Do's and don'ts with a fashion guru. She's a stylist to the celebrities, and her name is Barbette Smith. Also, we're going to talk about movies of the year. Don't cry, Sydney Sweeney. And there is a spoiler. Dakota Johnson is in 2 of my either best or worst movies of the year. As I said, Jim Turner is over there strumming the guitar. And Jim, do you have any idea what the most streamed song, according to Spotify, was for the year 2025?
Oh, good question.
Okay, so that's now.
I don't want to waste time.
It's somebody called Hunter RX, HUNT /RX, I think. So there may be some medication involved. I don't know what the RX means. And the song is called Golden. Do you have any?
I mean, I can report one quick thing. They don't want me to take too much time here, and that is that when you listen to the vast amount of music everywhere, live, every style, every station, you go on YouTube, which I do all the time, and you'll look up a song that you maybe never have heard, and it has millions of hits. That's just a tip. There's stuff being listened to, downloaded, streamed out there that a lot of people don't have a clue.
Do you have Sirius XM in the car?
Yeah.
We're not a sponsor, and we're not.
Yeah.
They could give us a month. That'd be nice, Jim and myself. But what I notice is, so I grew up during the 90s and 80s, and of course the noughts, but the 70s are when I went to college. So I seem to feel like I like the 70s music more than the 80s or 90s, even though I lived through all of those periods.
Well, I've heard it say that people think that you were related to the generation where we did our thing. In my case, I've been a musician, so I like them all from the 20s forward. A lot of people
That's the 1920s.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
But sorry, you can't say that anymore. You got to say your full date.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of
yes, it's elder abuse here on.
A lot of people relate to the year when they were in high school or college, and so that's a fact.
I think that's what I'm doing. I like songs from the 90s. I like the New Radicals. I like songs from the 80s. I can't think of one. But the Velvet Rope Janet Jackson album is decent. But I can't tell you, and I have no idea until I went to YouTube, as you just suggested, and listened to Golden by Hunter RX, what that's all about. And then I heard it, and I'm like, oh yeah. So here's my thing, and anyone listening in a car right now may feel the same way. Please stay tuned to WLIW-FM for some great music. But it's all like wallpaper to me right now.
Yeah,
all the popular music now is, I understand, I hear it, but I can't go, oh, I
Yeah.
need that album, or oh, I've heard that and I know who that artist is.
Well, I'll drop a name for Barvette, and that is that Hal McCusick once said, I can't hear that. When you listen to music that doesn't relate to you, it's as if you can't hear
I
it.
can't hear that.
I'm a
Yes.
roots musician, and some of my favorite music is from the 1920s and also from Chicago blues. So these are different niches in the music history, but commercial music, money is what the whole thing mainly talks about. And also, as far as hip hop, a lot of people think they don't listen to it, but you're walking down Park Avenue and you'll see a nice little old lady in a Mercedes, and somebody next door to her is doing this music filled with expletives. So we're all apprised of hip hop and rap.
Who do you sample the most? Who in your record collect? No, I'm kidding. So yeah, that's another thing. I mean, some of the hip hop artists have sampled other older people, and now we've got this mashup. And all right, so Kumbaya. It's 2025. This is Air Hamptons. Yeah, there you go. But don't play anything we have to pay money for. I mentioned at the top of the show we're going to talk about dining on the East End. What happened to Arthur and Sons? They said they were staying. They came. They promised me. I love Joe. I follow him on Instagram. Came to Bridgehampton in that kind of, I guess, hole. There's nothing that seems to survive in that place. It's right next door to the very expensive and exclusive and delicious Topping Rose. Not a sponsor, but please invite us over.
Well,
for a
I'll
meal.
interact with you with one last thing, which is in the music industry, most bands, no matter how popular, only last as much as 3 years. The only people that last decade after a decade are people like Elton John, and I think that goes for restaurants on the East End.
So you're saying if Arthur and Sons had only sung instead of made food, they'd have been here for 3 years instead of just 2.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going for. All right, look, we're talking restaurants, and this is a guy I talk to almost every day. Andrew, don't call him Andy, Benini from Java Nation. And welcome to Air Hamptons.
Great to be here. I'm a big fan.
Can you tell there's absolutely no rehearsal?
No, I rehearse this all night. This is
We didn't
not me.
We didn't start until you walked in the door, and we're going to talk about the best restaurants and maybe some of the worst in the Hamptons this year. But first of all, I want to ask you about this explosive success you have over in Bridgehampton, because it strikes me that here in the Hamptons and also all around the country, the coffee shop or the freshly ground place serving coffee is the last thing that a mom and pop can still run. Yes, there's Starbucks and there's Joe and the Juice and there's the Bean and all of that, but there are still thriving small little places like Java Nation. Why is that?
I have no idea. Listen, I wake up every day at 5. I leave my house from Sag Harbor. I go to Bridgehampton, and then I open at 5:55, and people show up. That's all I know. I learned how to roast, and make coffee, and I just show up. That's all I do.
What
I think
were
the
you
key
do-
is just to show up.
Like all things successful, just
Show up. Yeah.
open the door,
Yeah.
and they will.
I think that really is. Lately, as you know, I've been a little flaky. I opened at 9 the other day. It killed me. But I think for the last 31 years, pretty steady. I mean, during COVID, I was there every day because we couldn't.
You
cross
started
state
in
lines.
Sag Harbor,
Yes.
or in any place before. You're from Peru.
I was born in Lima, Peru.
Right.
Lived there 10 years. My dad had a job there for 11 years.
How old were you when you had your first cup of coffee?
Probably 6 months old. It was the local cafe au lait, which was Nescafe, which is what it was high
Mother's
coffee.
milk and a shot of
And
espresso.
just not really, just hot milk on top of Nescafe, instant, and then you stir it up.
Now you are
With
not
sugar.
kidding. You're saying
No,
maybe
no, that
kids
was-
in Peru were starting to drink coffee at like
Yeah.
6 months.
I have 3 sisters, and that was called cafe au lait. Café con leche in Spanish, cafe au lait in French.
And at age 10, you moved to.
Bethesda, Maryland.
Bethesda,
my
Maryland.
dad got his dream job in D.C. and instead of moving to D.C., I'm still giving my mom a hard time. It's like, we could be living in DuPont Circle. I mean, but they bought a house in Bethesda. That's why Montgomery County kid.
And did the
But
coffee.
but Bethesda, I will say this, entirely within the Beltway and entirely within Maryland. Think about that.
Your whole life, you mean? Your whole early
Well, I mean,
childhood?
Bethesda is in that early. So from age 10 to about 27, I was in the state of Maryland. Also went to the University of Maryland. But then I moved downtown to Northwest and worked for a law firm.
Yeah, I spent some time in D.C. too, and I don't remember in the 80s and stuff coffee places. I mean, there were
Weren't any.
places you could get a coffee.
Like a 7-Eleven that went on 17th Street. I'd go on the way to work because I
Right.
would walk down 17th Street. There wasn't anything. It was the awful office service work, pre-ground pods. You throw in the thing. It was terrible.
Yeah.
We had to go, we traveled to Argentina. We'd have better coffee there. We'd have espresso, fresh roasted espresso. My dad's hometown, San Juan, Argentina.
What was the turning point? When did we, as when I was growing up, maybe one woman in the office had a cup. Everybody had a cup of coffee.
I think it all started in San Francisco at North Beach. The Italian immigrants, there were fishermen. Joe DiMaggio's from there. They started roasting coffee in the 50s, and there were bookstores, and all the beatniks were showing up in North Beach, and they became popular. Later moved to Seattle.
And they couldn't get liquor license, so they served coffee?
No, I just think they'd rather not sell alcohol, these folks.
No kidding.
I've heard the name of that first shop.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
I never thought of the hippie, coffee
it
house.
It started in San Fran, plus the weather's perfect for that coffee.
Right.
Beverages. Then it later moved to Seattle and Portland. Then it slowly made its way Midwest. I mean, the first Starbucks opened in New York in 1994.
Yeah.
New York City.
In Portland? Well, they started in the West.
Out east. The first Starbucks in New York City opened in 94. And people said, New Yorkers will always drink a 10-ounce cup. They don't want to go with this 12, 16, 20. Sure enough, a year later, 12, 16, 20, 24 ounce.
What's with the grande, the tall, the short,
More
the
money.
medium, but
More money. It's the popcorn
Just
trick.
call them
It's a
small,
movie theater.
medium, and large.
Well, they wanted to be cool, and it started with a short. So you got short and tall, right? They want to be different than the 12, and then came the grande, and then the venti. But then they got rid of the short. That's when the tall became the smallest. So we have that problem.
Hold on.
People come in and say, I want a tall coffee. Like, what does that mean? Small? So you get rid of the short, now the tall's the smallest.
There's a
Anyway.
ton of comedians who do bits about that. Like,
Yeah.
I want the large. No, that's the venti. That's the thing now.
Maybe movie scenes, too.
Okay, we're going to talk restaurants, but before we do, who grows the best bean? What country? What
Changes
what
every
latitude,
year.
longitude? Oh, really?
Right now coffee only grows in the tropics, and in mountains, preferably. So right now, I think Jamaica grows the best, and maybe
The Blue
Hawaii.
Moon, they call it, or whatever.
Blue Mountain.
Blue Mountain, and that's at really high up.
5,000 feet up, yeah. And incredible soil and weather. You want kind of a misty nights, cool nights, but it can never freeze, or you're done.
Wow.
Coffee dies when
That's
it reaches
freeze-dried.
32 degrees.
No, that's not what you
That's
want.
something else.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about restaurants. You
Yes.
and I, one of the things we do. What is it about Java, by the way, that people just go in and hold court?
I think it's the aroma. You think you're special, right? You walk in, you think someone's listening, and you all of a sudden you're pontificating.
It covers a lot of sins too if you haven't showered or anything in a couple
For sure.
days because that's strong.
Yeah,
and it's
the
loud.
roasting and the grinding and the brewing and the roasting and the grinding of the espresso and then the espresso making, a lot of aromas at once.
Yeah. It's also a simple business. It's not a lot of SKUs, right? It's like a couple sizes, couple
Zero
of blends,
SKUs,
couple
actually.
of.
What's a SKU? I'm just kidding. Zero SKUs. Yeah, I don't do any of that.
Best meal you had in the Hamptons this year?
Last night I had an amazing meal. I went to American Hotel with Kiara, my oldest daughter, and we just had three things. We had the soup, French onion soup.
Right.
We had the salad, spinach salad, and the salmon meal. The salmon special comes with a lot of sides, and creme brulee at the end.
Okay, but then you still making payments on that, or what was that? I mean,
$130, Bill.
oh,
It's
that's
not a
not
lot
bad.
of money.
Was it a special?
Also-
It's not restaurant week. Or
No,
anything,
no. We just.
So that's a misnomer that
It
that
depends.
hotel is very, very expensive.
It depends how you order. I had one beer. So if you start ordering drinking and start ordering sides and all this stuff, it adds up. But you can be frugal. And by the way, best omelet in your life. Go there at lunch, sit at the bar, get one beer and an omelet. You're not going to believe the omelet at the American
Beer and
Hotel.
eggs. Okay,
Yeah.
that's new.
No, it's not.
No, it's.
Normal. In Maryland, this
Okay, but what's your favorite? So American
So
Hotel.
it's not favorite meal ever last year. I mean, we had a great meal at Page. No one could decide what they wanted.
You're
I
a
said,
Sag Harbor
1,
guy.
2, 3, 4. I ventured to Bridgehampton. Also, the Greek restaurant. We had a great meal on your birthday. That's where you want to go.
You mean in Bridgehampton?
Yeah,
That's the one
95
that
School
starts
Street.
with an E and no one can say it right.
Elaya.
And it has every letter from the eye chart in it, and nobody. And
Only
the-
one consonant.
but it's got two names. Elia.
Or Elaya, Restaurante Elaya, Osteria Elaya, maybe.
Okay, that to anyone
95
listening or
School
watching, that place is the screaming deal all year long. I think even in season during happy hour, because they have a bar menu
Yeah.
that is super reasonable, and they
Prices-
pour $12 wine.
Prices they jacked up a little bit. It's
They
not
did.
as cheap, but it's still a great deal and amazing food, super fresh.
What is the best deal? In
We
the
went there for Easter, by the way, an amazing Easter at 95 School Street, Elaya.
Okay, you can keep
Yeah.
plugging them all you want.
Anyway.
I don't think they're going to give you a free meal. All right, so what's the best cheap eats out here? Yeah, I mentioned Arthur and Sons closing, and I felt like that was
Same.
on the road to getting like big family servings and helping people save a little dough. and they couldn't do it.
Competition. There's a lot of Italian. You got to be really good. You know, they got Il Cappuccino, you got Luigi on Noyak Road, you got Tutto Giorno, there's Tutto Giornos everywhere, and now you got one coming in Bridgehampton, Tutto Cafe.
What's the one that's been in Sag Harbor forever and ever and ever?
Il Cappuccino.
Yeah.
Jack.
Do you know the story
Tagliasacchi.
about that guy?
Absolutely. His name's Achille Tagliasacchi. The first time he comes to Sag Harbor, they go say, "What's your name?" You go, "Achille." "Jack?" He goes, "Yeah." They still call him Jack. You know him, Jack Tagliasacchi. His daughter's Amber. She just turned 50. I couldn't believe it. He's 95 years old. Wow. You want to live a long time? Open an Italian restaurant in Sag Harbor.
Do you go to Sag Harbor? I know you go to Sag Harbor.
I loved it. I sat at the bar, had a great meal.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's just a red sauce joint, right? I mean, and not expensive, good, well priced.
Joint, very well priced. Again, if you order properly, you get the carafe. It's the cheapest wine they have.
So if you go to, I know you go to Sag Harbor
Split.
Cinema because I see you at the trivia nights there, and I'm going to name that as one of my favorite things out here. They have these little short stories, and they did one about that Bill Collage and a couple of other people shot.
Yeah.
They run before the movies. They're just great. And
Great.
the one about him
Jack,
talks about, in what year did they open that? Like 80s
early
or 70s?
early 70s, yeah, 70s.
So
here
they
in the
talk
60s,
about
yeah.
how there was no sign to Sag Harbor.
Right.
You were on 27 and you
Yeah.
didn't know to make a left.
Yeah, at the
So
statue.
they made up their own, it looked like a state sign.
Yeah.
It was, I guess, green and white, like
Yeah.
the real ones, and had an arrow to Sag Harbor.
Yep.
And they put it up in the middle of the night.
That's what I heard.
And that's how people put, they
Yeah.
literally put Sag Harbor
No
on
one
the
knew where
map.
Sag Harbor was. It was so out of the way. It's ridiculous. You know, when I first drove out here in 1985 with Cheryl, we were driving down. I was like, "Okay, how do you get there?" She goes, "Drive straight and make a left at the statue." I'm on I-95. What statue? This is crazy. That's your direction?
And that worked.
Somehow we got there.
Any potato
hours.
fields when you were driving through there?
Yeah, well, the next I thought you'd be serious. The next day we went to, they called it Left. That's Daniel's Lane. It was what's now the guy's house, you know.
Right.
Ira Renner's
Yeah,
house.
and
that
in
was the
that
beach we
year,
went to.
when you first drove out here, did you see Joe Farrell sawing a tree down?
Never heard
Did
of
you see
him.
him like clearing a lot?
No.
Best pre-fee?
You know, I'm not a big pre-fee guy.
No?
However, I am a big burger beer guy, so I'm going to have to give it to Almond because not only you get the burger, big burger, but you also get handcuff fries and a salad and a beer, $25. That's the best deal. But I'm normally not a pre-fee guy.
That's on one night, though. That's like Tuesdays or something,
Tuesdays
right?
only, yeah.
And they do an endless mussels thing. That's in Bridge. We haven't talked about, do you get to Montauk ever?
Yeah.
Do you like the Crow's Nest out there?
Actually, I've never been there.
Okay, that is like you think you're in Jamaica or something. You
Yeah.
think you're in the tropics.
Yeah.
Turner, you ever been to the Crow's Nest?
Yeah, I've even played there.
Really?
Yeah, I've done some events, and there was a whole vibe I can remember.
They've got a
about it.
beach thing down. They've got a bar down on the beach. The whole place is open like Gilligan's Island, and it's really good
I
food.
want to go there. Yeah.
Very professional.
Yeah, the
place.
food reminds me of Weigh-In, which was my favorite pop-up this summer that was in East Hampton, where Harbor Grill was. That's Jean-Georges' son. If someone else is picking up the tab, what's your favorite splurge?
Wow, that's a great question. Man, I think it's going to have to be the hotel again.
Really?
Yeah.
American Hotel. Ted Conklin has some uncompromising pictures of you, I'm thinking.
You go
'cause
way
these is
back.
Way,
Yeah.
Good.
I met him
Okay.
in '94.
I'm going to say St. Ambrose.
Good choice. I don't go there very much.
Well, nobody does because it's expensive.
Yeah.
But if somebody else was paying,
I sat at the bar last time I was there. It was nice. I had a cocktail and a snack.
they make the little sandwiches all
Yeah,
day long that are
that's
good.
nice.
Also, I'm just finishing up my payments on a biscuit I bought at the Sagaponic General Store. I think that place has done more for. The neighbors are disturbed, but I swear they're going to make a movie in that place. It looks like a movie set.
Yeah.
In Sagaponic, if you're listening and haven't been, there's a line out the door all summer. I don't get it. Pierre had a place there forever. It must kill him to drive by and go look at the business. I like Leon on Shelter Island,
I've heard great
and
things. Never been.
it's good. It's very good. As is the coffee at Java Nation.
So much.
Andrew, don't call him Andy. Thank you for serving us. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And thanks for being a part of the year ends best. If you were going to nominate Best Person of the Year in the Hamptons, who would your nominee be? I'm not going to tell you if you have it right.
Jenny from the corner bar. I meant to mention the happy hours. American Hotel's great happy hour. Also the Green Room, great happy hour, movie theater.
Well, the Green Room, tell people where that is.
That's on top of the movie theater, Sag Harbor. But for
Best view in all the Hamptons.
Viviality, corner bar, when Jenny's working. Jenny transformed Sag Harbor when she showed up from, she's from Madison, Wisconsin. She
When
made
Jenny's on the block at the corner bar in Sag Harbor, look for this man.
Jenny and Joey,
Yeah.
they're a couple.
And say hi to Dana the next time you're at Java Nation and try and coax a smile out of her. All right. That is the food scene on the East End. Thank you, Andrew.
To be here. Thank you.
When we return, Lisa joins us with the best books of the season. But until then, let's have a little, have some bookworm music.
Jenny, 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 Jenny. You got me going with Jenny. Jenny, Jenny, Jenny.
They live back here.
That is the great Jim Turner, our one-man band, and joining us next is Lisa McNeil. Lisa is she's been on this show before. She brought some swag. She's pulling up a chair right now, and she is the director. Everyone wants to direct at the Bridgehampton Public Library, where they spent millions to move it like, what, 5 inches? What was the point of that? I'm not sure what was going on.
Before my time.
Okay. Was something wrong with the fact? Well, Lisa, welcome to the best and worst of 2025. You are the best. I am among the worst. But I'm going to try and win you over. You've brought some books for us to read.
Did bring a few books. I can't say worst. I can only say my favorites for this year because I never want to pan an author.
Is there, without telling us the name of the book or the author, is there a book you started to read this year and stopped and just said, this is not for me?
Yes, it's on my Goodreads list, so if you want to see it, you just friend me on Goodreads and you'll find out. But I don't want to say it on the air.
She's too nice to be mean. By the way, before we go any further, our buddy who is a sometime, this is the book Sometime Child, which was written by Dick Bruce, who's on the board at the library. And I have not read the book, but I've seen the play. And all I can tell you is he's self-published. Can somebody who self-publishes a book get it into libraries?
Sometimes they can, yes.
Do they need an agent? How do you find books?
No. Well,
This is, by the way, on Amazon. Sometime Child.
we look at book lists, we get recommendations, we go to the prize winners.
Do you call Oprah?
No.
Okay, never.
But we do like her choices. Jim.
Really?
Yes, yes.
Can you tell whether she's read a book or not when you read?
I don't really watch Oprah, sorry.
Okay, but have you ever read a book review where they got it completely wrong and you said you don't even think they read the book?
Yes, that's when you start asking them questions. That's how you find out.
Okay. All right, drum roll. Let's
Okay.
see what did you like this year?
All right. Well, Bill, did you read The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn when you were a child?
Sure, everyone did.
I'm glad to hear that. So one of my favorite books was called James by Percival Everett. It won the 2025 Pulitzer for Fiction, and it is a retelling, which I normally don't like because I feel like think up your own characters,
Right.
Authors, and maybe the authors wouldn't like that.
That's Dennis Miller's line about when people say they're born again. He's like, pardon me for getting it right the first time.
Oh, good one. So anyway, this is a retelling. I don't normally like it, but I do think Mark Twain would like this retelling because it's the enslaved character Jim, called James in this book, and he is traveling down the Mississippi River because he had to leave because he was going to be sold. And so he heard
It's the same time period?
It's the same time
okay.
period, right. And so he hides out on an island trying to figure out his next steps. Meanwhile, Huck has faked his own death because his violent father's after him. So they meet up and they're going down the Mississippi, and it's stunning and a fabulous book. Won the Pulitzer. Love it, love it. I couldn't bring it because you can't keep it on the shelf. But it's a fabulous book.
Do you notice taking every fiber in Jim Turner's being, not to play Old Man River right now, but he knows we'll have to pay don't! Not even one chord! We'll have to pay a lot of money.
Thank you, Jim.
Lisa, you like that?
I like James. Also, I love mysteries, but I actually have a love-hate relationship with mysteries. I love them because I want to solve the crime and they're fun. It's like a puzzle. But I hate them because I have to stay up all night to find out who did it, and they're addictive.
So it's a literal page turner for you. You can't pick one up
Literal.
and start it without getting all the way through.
Well, I stop myself, but
Do you have BritBox at home?
no, but I want it.
Okay, I highly recommend BritBox
Okay,
for you.
I will get that. So
Because no one reads anymore, Lisa. We just watch TV.
that's
Okay.
really, really not true. But I read this book, which I have with me, Louise Penny Greywolf.
Okay.
Fabulous book, Armand Gamache is the detective inspector up in Quebec in this adorable little town nobody knows about. Loved the book as I'm reading it. There was a cliffhanger ending. That is just wrong. That's why we
So
stay
wait,
up
you're
all
liking
night.
this or you're not
well,
liking it?
I love the book so much that I went back to her first one and I started reading the whole series, again, the addictive part.
Right.
I'm up to book 18.
So this is it's the same detective through all of...
Same detective,
Now
Armand
that sounds like a
Gamache.
movie franchise.
I don't know.
And they're all in Canada?
They're all in Canada. He moves around a little bit. He gets around. But now the latest one, finally, Black Wolf, the sequel to the one that I was angry about, is out.
Did that
So
pick
I'm
up
very
right where
excited.
Grey Wolf left
I don't
off?
know because I haven't read it and now I have to go back and read the ending of this because I don't remember.
What do you do after Black Wolf?
What they can- I don't
Start
know.
up
She'll have
again.
another one. She'll have another one. That's what we're counting on because I read 18 of them and I.
Louise Penny.
Louise Penny. She's
All right.
Canadian. Fabulous, fabulous.
If you're
author.
just joining us, this is the best and worst of the year, except Lisa from the Bridgehampton Library will not tell us her worst books. She's only telling our best, and this is Air Hamptons. What do you like next?
I'll tell you another one. Another fun mystery series is the Thursday Murder Club.
Ah.
It's a bunch of senior citizens in a retirement community, and there's murders happening all around.
But so that has been made into a television
And
series.
it was a movie, and it was not as good as the book. I won't say worst, but it wasn't as good as the book.
Is that the
'cause
one
they
that
never are?
Is that the one that Pierce Brosnan did with Helen Mirren?
Yes,
yeah.
and Ben Knightley.
Yeah,
Fabulous
that-
cast.
that is kind
the
of
movie is
mediocre.
never as good as the book.
Right.
We know that. But anyway, it was good. And by the way,
One book in your lifetime that you thought made a good movie.
the Harry Potter series.
Oh, you like those? You think they got those right?
Yes.
Her politics are a little funky.
I don't think that. So, I know. But anyway, we have a mystery book club at the library called A Bottle of Red and a Character's Dead Mystery Book Club.
I love
a lot
that.
of fun, which we're having at Pierre's restaurant right now because we're doing renovations, and so we farmed out all our programs at local businesses. So once a month we go to Pierre's, and we
Are you upstairs in that little
we
mystery
have done
book room?
upstairs. We love it up there, or downstairs in a little book nook.
Oh, and then you have dinner, or you have a glass of red wine, I assume. Yeah.
And a little ordering.
Right.
No, we
Is
appreciate
everybody as mad at Louise Penny as you are?
No,
Okay. And how do you talk about a mystery and not give it away?
because we've all read it.
You've read the whole thing.
We've all read the book, and then we get together and talk. And we actually like it if it's a book we didn't like, because then we get to bash it, and that's fun. But that's not on TV.
Who's the big
We
dissenter in that group? Name the person you always disagree with. You won't do it, will you? Okay.
But we do rate them, and it's a lot of fun.
By the way, Pierre's one of my favorite best restaurants out here, and everyone who thinks it's expensive, they do a different. Sorry to pivot backwards a little, but they do a thing every Monday through Friday night, a plat du jour that's literally half of what it is normally. So, you naysayers, c'est bon. All right, back to you're at Pierre's, you're having wine, you're getting
Right. So we read
just one glass, though, right?
Just one.
Okay, fine.
The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. We read a classic Agatha Christie. Now we're going to be reading The Talented Mr. Ripley, who's my favorite murderer. You can't help but like him.
As great as that movie was, did you see the Netflix black and white series that they
No,
did this
no,
past
no.
year? It's not on my best list, but it was certainly the most beautiful. It was, as I said, done in this stunning kind of deep, inky black and white and silver.
Who played Mr. Ripley?
I knew you were going to ask that. That's not on my list, so I don't remember. Damn it. All right, our time is done. You're out of here. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Keep going. Keep going. I'll think of it in a second.
Do you want one more?
Yes, please, keep
Okay.
going.
So, a memoir, Raising Hare, Hare, by Chloe Dalton, recommended by a neighbor because wherever I go, people want book recommendations or they want to recommend a book to me. So I love this book. It's like an unlikely friendship between a woman who found a little leveret, which is a baby hare, which hares are rabbits, but not really. I
Big.
mean, they have the ears, the
Right.
tails, the hopping, but they're
They're a little more aggressive. They're like a little kangaroo.
Yeah, they're bigger and they're more solitary and they live above ground. But
And we can see this one. It's not invisible like
it's Harvey.
Harvey. No.
I was I was in that school play, but anyway. Bill, imagine you could hold a baby hair in your hand and feed it with a bottle. Or it's hopping around your bed all
That's a whole
night or
book.
thumping on your duvet. This is what happened because it was during the lockdown. So this is a woman who was a speechwriter, a political analyst, and she was at her countryside home for the whole pandemic with this baby hair that she raised. It was very sweet.
That also seems like a good movie.
Yeah, I don't know how they could do it with the hair though.
Animated?
It wouldn't work.
Guillermo del Toro would have like this giant hair. It's CGI'd, and it eats her at the end. That isn't what happens
I
at the end of
feel
this
no.
book, right? Okay.
She was very specific about the fur patterns. But it was just a sleeper book that was very sweet and lovely. So I loved that.
My pick for one of the best of the year, I haven't even read it, but this title just grabs me. The Ultimate Book of Facts About Everything.
Oh, that would be handy.
It's $12.79. I feel like, okay, in the time we have left, I am totally, do you have another recommendation? Or I just want you
I
to,
could go on and on, but
so here's my thing, and I know you're going to be appalled by this. I do see the movies generally before I ever read a book. I saw this stage play, and I haven't read Sometime Child yet, another plug for Dick Bruce. And I just don't read fiction. Is that I read only nonfiction.
Not at all. I love nonfiction.
Do you find that
I love it.
do you find a lot of people come in and they just want to read true stories or read biographies or read things about?
A lot of times at our Fridays at 5 author talks, people love the nonfiction authors.
Okay.
They do. So that's good. I love I just read Together in Manzanar, which is a nonfiction book about the Japanese internment camps, concentration camps. Yeah.
That sounds like a doc.
Maybe
See,
you
I'm sorry
would
to make
like-
everything into a movie, but it does feel like that. Yeah.
Maybe you would like historical fiction, like Eric Larson
yeah,
books.
Yeah.
Those are
maybe.
Those are good.
You know who I was friends with years ago was the guy that did all the. It was almost like Zelig. They would wander through everything in the South. John Jakes. You know his work.
Yeah, nonfiction is great. Look,
take your
we're
word
about
for
books.
it.
We're about literacy. Nonfiction, comic books,
I read Dan's papers.
all good.
That's
Dan's
what I read. And
is
James Lane Post.
fiction, nonfiction.
Lisa, it is always a pleasure to have you. Those are the books that everyone should be reading that she enjoyed this year in our best and worst. If you're just joining us, this is Air Hamptons. I'm Bill McCuddy, and playing Lisa off with some really good library music. Jim Turner, our one-man band. When we return, we're talking fashion with Barbette Smith. She is a celebrity diva dresser. She dresses the divas. And here is a little runway music for her. Oh, with a harmonica. All right. Very nice. Playing the way we love it. Hey, Barbette. Barbette Smith is here. You helped us out this summer.
Yes, I did, in fact, and I loved it.
And here you're back and brought a lawyer. I don't know why. No, I'm kidding. Barbette.
No, just a handbag.
Let me, people listening, I said at the top of the show, I'm wearing a black suit, a black tie, and a white shirt. And the reason I do that.
Because you're going to a funeral.
No, that's what people say. But you know what? I
The
just
black tie is
found
the giveaway.
When I do stand up or I go do, I go around the country doing all of these funny auctioneer things and where I raise money. I've been doing that for 15 years now since I left Fox. It's just so much easier. This is made by a
It's like
company in Japan.
Garanimals. You don't have to think.
I don't have it's Garanimals for
Yeah,
adults.
Garanimals.
And then I heard about I don't know a month ago Jerry Seinfeld talking on some podcast about how he threw all his suits out and wears just a black suit, a white shirt, and a black tie.
Look
And then
at us.
And you came.
It's 007, don't think.
007.
Right? It's classic.
So
It's
people listening should know that Barbette has come in a very fashionable.
a crisp
what do we
white.
have? Is that
a crisp white? I'm
cashmere?
doing a layered look.
Okay.
Chinchilla collar.
Chinchilla. Is
and
that
it's a
real
vest.
chinchilla?
It is.
We don't want anybody throwing fake blood on you or anything.
No.
Okay.
We're out in the woods here. I look like anything else.
We are in the woods
Yeah.
here.
I look
don't know
like
how you
anything
found your
else in
way
the
here. Did you put little breadcrumbs on the way to the
Good
studios?
thing I didn't wear my head-to-toe snakeskin look, because that is camo out
We
here.
produce this show at LTV thanks to them, and we run it on WLIW-FM. If you were listening on that, thank you very much.
We
All
love
right.
everything out here.
I did some research on, so I wear this because of Seinfeld, but I didn't
Yeah,
do
for
it.
your stand-up,
I didn't-
lie down
Yes,
look.
yes. Here are the most common 2025 fashion mistakes, and you can just say yay or nay. Ignoring dress codes, people who show up in the wrong stuff, wearing overly casual to formal events.
Oh,
Do you see that a lot?
no. I think people generally play by the rules.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm not a rule. I'm a bit of a rebel.
I love that about
Yeah,
you.
I really don't mind it. And if worn with conviction, anything goes.
Okay, so own it.
Except for,
Own it.
white jeans in the snow. Not so cool.
Well, I'm going to skip down to one that I abuse all the time. And Mrs. McCuddy says, if you wear this, you just look like you've given up. And that's athleisure outside the gym. And I see that all the time.
I do too.
Really rich guys
Here's
are
the
walking
thing.
around.
At age, I'm an old broad, people. At age 60, I have just gone and purchased my first pair of sweatpants.
Okay.
Swear to God.
All through COVID?
I
What were you wearing in
promise.
COVID?
I was in a caged leather pants with 7-inch
Wow.
stilettos. Yeah, my husband loved it. And a good trench coat, but I'm bummed, people.
Yeah,
Do
okay.
not underestimate a good
Oh,
trench
really?
coat.
The trench coat is bad?
I have a leather one. It's
Oh, I like
divine.
that.
Yeah.
So, do you have neon leggings? Because it says don't wear neon
and nobody
leggings.
should. First of all, I need to say this once and last, perhaps. Thank God, please. Leggings are not pants, people. They are not pants. Your bits and your big bit, your
That's a
bits.
bumper sticker.
Yeah,
Leggings
it
are
is.
not pants.
Leggings are not pants, people.
Wow.
Yeah. I've said it my whole life. And my
they
kids
also-
are like, shut up, Mom.
They also say there's too much cheap-looking fabric, that satin can cheapen an entire
Oh,
look.
totally.
Is that true?
Yes, it is. Satin needs to have a hand to it, so it's a little thick. Or else it's too shiny. It's too, it just screams cheap.
Now this seems like
Screeches
this
cheap.
seems like
How's that?
fashion 101, but it says mismatched patterns and colors.
Okay, now this is a bit of a misnomer. This is not. I mean, the less you match, the more chicks dig it, is what my husband would say.
Really?
Yes, and I was drawn to that. But now, and I used to subscribe to that.
I mean,
leopard
plaid on
is a
plaid on
neutral,
plaid,
and
like-
you can do a stripe, a navy stripe top with a navy sweater and
Right.
then navy Manolos. All good. A
Okay.
navy blazer. Loved it. But now, you kind of want it just to be maybe your voice a little loud, not your outfit.
Okay, less
Yeah.
Sarah Jessica Parker and more.
I don't
Barbette
know.
Smith.
Sarah Jessica, you rock, sister. Keep on keeping
Well,
on.
that allegedly, the first incarnation of that show, Sex and the City, spawned all of this stuff, the wedding veils and the stuff that
Totally.
the
Freedom.
tutu
It's
and
called
the-
freedom.
They are also talking about overly ambitious outfits, wearing
Okay.
things
Okay.
that are
So
too
this
over the
is
top.
head to toe like a Dior on shore,
Right.
on Somme. And, I love Dior and I love Gucci but nobody needs a sweatsuit suit. Do you know what I mean? Enough. But I've
And
worn
the
it. I'm
logos?
so
What about the
guilty of
logos?
it.
What about the logos everywhere?
That's what
like
I'm
the
talking
Gucci
about.
stuff?
Dior,
Like
Dior,
wallpaper-
Gucci,
yeah,
Gucci,
yeah.
LV, LV. But I would put a bag on and with a scarf and LV, this, that, the other thing.
What happened to the Chanel suit for women? You couldn't walk up and down Madison Avenue without seeing every woman
like
in
a
that
St.
classic-
John's knit,
Yeah.
right? It's a classic. It's just broken up now. You just wear the blazer
With jeans,
and yeah,
or like some
yeah,
men do a mix-up
yeah.
thing.
People were more posh back in the day. It was
I'm
a
going
good
to tell
day.
you about a posh moment that I had one time. I was in the Gulf Station in Bridgehampton. and
This does sound
this
posh.
Gorgeous dress was in front of me. It looked like Audrey Hepburn. I swear to God, it was one of these
Little
bright
black?
and flowered and no, not the little black
Okay,
dress,
okay.
but big flowered
Number.
print. And this woman was ahead of me, paying for her gasoline, I guess. And I thought, what is this woman doing at the Gulf Station? And then she asked for a lottery ticket, and I said, well, you have to buy Lady Luck. and she turned around and laughed, and it was Barbette Smith
Oh!
at the Gulf Station, looking like she had just walked off a movie set.
I was so excited to hear who it was.
Well, it's you. The reveal is
Look at
you.
me go.
You're not Person of the Year at the end of the show, but you were the Person of the Night that night. And I think you bought Lady Luck. I don't think you won, so I apologize for
in
that.
fact, I did not. I
But
was
you can't
clear
overdress if you're Barbette Smith for anything, because you were at the Gulf Station, where I'm pretty sure you just pumped your gas.
Yes.
And you were in this incredibly couture-looking outfit.
Bill, thank you so much.
Well, it's
I feel
true.
like I'm alive
That's a
again.
true story. Okay, so what do you like? What were the fashion trends this year that you thought made sense?
Okay, first of all, I haven't been shopping since June, where I went to Obligato here in town.
Okay.
And I bought like 7 dresses. Like, you can go from a club to a lunch to really out to dinner, change a little Manolo mule. I'm big on those.
That sounds expensive, this place.
Okay, but you can get those on sale. And, if you're an old...
Do you wear something expensive the rest of your life?
Yes.
Somebody told me one time the cheapest thing you can buy are expensive shoes.
Yes.
Because they last forever.
Yes.
And they don't.
And you resole them and they're classic and they don't go out. But, if you're me and more is better, then I have more of them, which is not better.
How many chinchillas are at home in the closet?
3.
How many closets do you have?
Okay, do not ask that because I'm in a rental right now and it's not pretty. I can't find anything. But no,
Does your
racks
husband
and
have a
rolls
pod
and
outside? Is
yeah,
there like
rolling racks everywhere.
Really?
Even in my son's room, I'm like, sorry, I just need to get to the furs.
So it looks like that show you did. You did a show, a reality show, where you were dressing
Right,
wealthy
$1 million
people.
shopper.
And
they were just $1 million returners. I'm like, oh, for God's sakes, I could do that on my own. Why do I have to go to New Jersey and schlep for you?
Do rich people buy outfits and
Yeah,
then take them
totally.
back Monday after they wore them to a party?
No, they don't take them back. The schlepper does.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Mrs. McCuddy was a schlepper. She was a stylist, and she
Yes,
had to return all
Sue,
that stuff.
it's genius. Yes, I
Yeah.
know.
She said that was the one
It's
part of the job she
the
didn't like.
worst job ever.
And then she
And I
said
know
something
kids
interesting
wanna
that I
do
know
it nowadays, but-
she dressed people for Saturday Night Live and
She
dressed
was
people
amazing.
for television commercials.
Still
and stuff.
is.
But she went back to the stores like Lord and Taylor and Bloomingdale's and just made a deal with them. Said, look, all of this is coming back except for 1 or 2 things.
Totally.
So can we just all get on the same
Yeah.
page and not be
But,
like,
but then Federated owned it. But I used to haggle at Bloomingdale's.
You could
And-
do that?
Yes, I did. I was
Really?
such a good, like it was a Turkish bazaar. Loved it.
did you smudge them or something so it had a little stain on it, or did you go? You ever
Bill,
switch price
I cannot
tags?
reveal my tricks. Buttonless would be a hint. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Okay. So who had style? Who do you like as a designer in 2025?
I like.
Who's the biggest
I'm a
designer?
Valentino girl,
Really?
I mean,
More of that in
if I
your-
had my wish list, yes,
Right.
it would be a Valentino caftan. You know what I mean? It's just genius.
Do you watch any of the runway shows and to see where these new talents are coming from? Is
No,
there-
no. Christian Siriano is the last one that, comes to mind for me.
I
But-
don't even have any.
Yeah. Project Runway.
For men or women or
He's
women?
for women.
And
But he's got a-
couture like runway stuff.
Yeah,
or like
he
stuff
does
you
do
can
that.
wear?
But runway. I'm a classic. I'm a Valentino. I'm a Chanel. I do love what's her name? Victoria Beckham.
Oh,
And
does she
Tom
do it?
Ford, yeah, but she makes a dress
she just
like
came out
she's
with some
Posh
stuff, right?
Spice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the construction of it is genius. And she has a thing on Netflix now. You should watch it, everyone. I loved it.
And for the rest of us, for everyone listening to this that maybe can't shop at all the places that we're talking
J.
about.
Crew.
What about J. Crew?
J.
Okay,
Crew.
Yeah.
You get jeans, a t-shirt. It's a poor
Michelle Obama.
It's a poor polo. And J. Crew rocks.
Right.
And any little trench coat or a pea coat, get a heel or slippers. For God's sakes, I don't care if they're furry
And if it's on
slippers.
sale
go.
online, go into the store and tell them you saw it online and they match the price.
They
A lot of
do?
people
Like
don't know that.
Verizon?
Even here in the Hamptons.
No
Hey, what-
way.
Yes, I've done it. What about the collabs with things like Target?
I haven't been to Target in a long
Missoni,
time.
like a lot of
I
famous
love
people
Missoni.
have
Yeah.
done crossover
I
stuff
love
with that.
Missoni. Missoni's always a hit.
Right.
Yeah. Pucci is always a hit. There's a
My
place.
neighbor's Mizrahi. Do you like Isaac's stuff? Do you
I
even-
did back in the day.
Right.
Isaac was genius.
Do you watch QVC? Do you see any of those
you know
people
what?
selling that
No,
stuff?
because I went to interview there. I was the
Oh,
best.
really? Were you
yeah,
gonna be
it's
a
the best
talker?
gift shop.
You were going to be a presenter?
Yeah. I wanted to. It was
Did
for
you
some
get the
high-end
tryout,
thing.
like
No.
Joy?
They were like, bring your energy. And I'm like, woo, energy to spare, right? And I get there and they were like, well, that's a lot of
Mission
energy for
accomplished.
Pennsylvania.
Mission accomplished.
They're like, that's a lot of energy. And I was like, I know.
Did you see the movie Joy with J-Law, with Jennifer Lawrence, where she
No.
has the mop and she goes up to Pennsylvania and she meets Bradley Cooper and she says, I'm putting this on, and she's got the personality and it flops. And then she goes home and redesigns it and comes back to him and says, I'm going on again.
Wait, the pusher, that mom.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it's
So
good.
You need to do that. The lesson is you need to go back a second time. Bring the chinchilla.
Okay.
And have the Barbette Smith line.
It's the best gift shop you've ever been to. I mean, kind of
Best-
like, I want to bring my RX to you too. I have my own.
Okay.
And that is White's Pharmacy. It's the best shopping.
Oh, that's your.
Yeah,
you
it's my
nominate
go-to.
them for best of the. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
They give you samples. You go in and you say, I'm
They
not
don't
buying
give you
today.
a fur coat
But
sample.
I like some La Mer. And they go, okay. let me
Yeah,
take it."
no.
Okay, Barbette, thank you so much. This is
Loved
the
it.
best piece of advice you can give anybody on dressing.
Dress for your body and dress for your age.
So I need a burlap sack, basically.
Yeah,
is what
I
you're
was
saying.
thinking that. But your age, you've got covered with that funeral attire.
The common, I'm going to name you, you're not Person of the Year, but I'm going to name you Best Fashion Advisor for the Hamptons and beyond. Barbette, thank you.
You're my best Bill.
Play her off with something amazing. And when we come back, we are talking movies. That's right. And also a little real estate. In, what do we have, like 10 minutes left? Yeah. Okay.
Nice job.
Right. They're telling me stuff that I already knew, but I enjoy it. Thank you. Jody Gambino, Best Floor Director of the Year. Zach, Best Director. Jim, Best Musician. And let's talk a little real estate. Our buddy Patrick McLaughlin has, do you have a real estate song?
Say what?
I was dirt poor in the Hamptons, and that means I had $1 million. No? All right.
Yeah, I had someone stand on my beach, boy. I just said, oh, shucks.
The highest price sale in Hamptons, in the Hamptons in 2025 was the Oceanfront Dune House at 105 Lily Pond Lane in East Hampton. Jim Turner, how much did that house sell for?
$68,533,000.
Oh my God, you're right there. I guess it was widely publicized. $66.75 million. There was a $57 million house that was an off-market sale in Bridgehampton, and there was another $67 million house. We don't rehearse. Can you believe this is a show? I can't either. It belonged to Franklin D. Roosevelt, Secretary of the Treasury. But that here's what you got for that. You got a separate 1.85 acre buildable lot. So, I don't know, it still seems expensive. The Shuttercock founder sold his house for $57 million. Again, another off-market sale. How do these realtors live? How do they do it if it's off-market? Finally, $55 million was 1010 Meadow Lane in Southampton. The Wall Street Journal, as I said at the top of this program, has said that the Hamptons are roaring back. I don't know when they were down. We had the huge bump during COVID, but our Person of the Year is not a realtor, although I would have to say Patrick McLaughlin, he's right up there. Let's now talk about motion pictures in the time we have left. It is movie time, and I have gone to several lists for the best movies of 2025, but the most important one to me comes from someone I'm going to talk about in just a moment. Speaking of things that happened this year that were perhaps one of the worst moments, a big fan of me, and I was of his. We talked movies all the time. He had been a guest on this show, and he was a raconteur. He had an old car haberdashery. He sold old cars in the West Village, and his name was Elliot Cooker. He was a regular at Java. If you've just joined us, Java Nation is my favorite coffee place, as we're talking best and worst. And Elliot Cooker of Watermill would have been one of my nominees for Person of the Year. Motion pictures, however, I went to IMDb's list, and I got to tell you, it's a mixed bag. Wake Up Dead Man at number 5, a Knives Out mystery, which I saw at the Hamptons International Film Festival. These are the films with Daniel Craig that I loved the first one, and the second two, I can't believe that they're picking this as number 5. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes long. I would say skip it. They love Weapons at number 4. A lot of people like Weapons because it was a horror film that was done a little more interestingly than some before it. I was underwhelmed by it. Number 3, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I wouldn't put it in the top 5. Number 2, yeah, I like, again, and I saw it on a special screen, and I'll describe that in a moment, F1, the movie
Oh,
with
yeah.
Brad Pitt. Did you see that, Turner?
I mean, it's got a lot of great reviews, I think.
Yes, it got a lot of great reviews. That means you didn't see it. But it's on Apple. You can watch that. And the number 1 movie, which I kind of agree with, and so does the person I'm going to quote in just a moment, is Sinners. This is the twin brothers that returned to their hometown in the 30s. It's about racism. It's about Ryan Coogler, great director, wrote and directed, stars Miles Caton and Saul Williams. It mixes horror with music. Have you seen Sinners,
Yeah,
Turner?
great.
Yeah, people are really divided on this film. I thought it was amazing, and my good friend John Leffler, who's BMG, a big music guy, I couldn't stand it. So it really divided audiences, and he's a guy I thought would like it. I'm going to give you now I think, a much more definitive top 5 list. It comes from Eric Cohn. Now, Eric's been on this show from the Southampton Playhouse, and we're going to talk more about that in a moment. But here's what he likes for the best movies. Number 5. We got some countdown music, a little. Yeah. We have no drums and we prove it. Again, we don't rehearse this. But here are the top 5 movies of the year, and then we're going to give you our Person of the Year. Hamnet at number 5. I agree with this completely. This is Hamlet, but his name was originally Hamnet. He was the boy that didn't survive, and Jessie Buckley is Mrs. Shakespeare, and she is going to buy a farm and rent and bet it, because she's going to win Best Actress. One Battle After Another at number 4 is the Leonardo DiCaprio film that moves quickly. Sinners he likes for number 3. It Was Just an Accident. Let me tell you about this very strange little movie. It's Iranian. The director has never made a more political film. This is about capturing someone that has tortured you and getting revenge, and then making the decision about whether that's the right or wrong thing to do. And the number 1 movie I agree with, it's not my number 1, but Marty Supreme. This is the Timothée Chalamet film where he's a ping pong player. But it's very inspirational. Timothée Chalamet may in fact win an Oscar. Wow. The 2 movies that Dakota Johnson was in are both on my best list. One is called Splitsville. You can watch that. It's an adult. It's not really a rom-com. And the other one that also isn't really a rom-com, and Dakota Johnson is becoming good at this, is The Materialists, which was completely marketed incorrectly, in my opinion. So check that out. I also like streaming. I wasn't a big fan of Slow Horses this year. I've been saying what a great series that is. Gary Oldman, love it on Apple, but this year a little less. The other thing that I truly adore, that again slipped a little this year, but I'm recommending for anyone who hasn't seen it, and that's the fabulous Kristen Bell and Adam Brody thing. Have you seen that, where he's Jewish and she's not, and it's a problem? And Tova Feldshuh, it's called Nobody Wants This. Tova Feldshuh, Tova is the mother, one of the Jewish mothers, and she's phenomenal. Hey, let's talk. Let's talk in the. What do we have? About a minute left. 2. Perfect. Drum roll. Another drum roll. This is the Hamptons Person of the Year. All right, we ready? You waited all hour. It's worth it. This is Air Hamptons. I'm Bill McCuddy, and I was not more impressed by anyone this year than the team behind. I'm going to make it a group. Kind of a misnomer. Apologize for that. But Eric Cohn is on the list. It's the team behind the resurrected Southampton Playhouse. This, A.B. Rosen and Charlie Rosen purchased it. It had been shuttered. They bought it in 2022. It's nonprofit, so they poured a ton of money into it, and it's a good thing because they're not going to make a profit. All the money, literally, Turner, is on the screen, and one of those screens is an IMAX screen.
Wow.
This was a space that nobody thought. The town listened to a bunch of different
Yeah.
proposals in Southampton. Nobody thought anything was going to actually get built there, but there it is. It's done. If you're listening to this on the radio, we're showing a picture of it. And by the way, WLIW is just off, it's just 2 or 3 doors down from that picture. Alex Black is the CEO of Lyrical Media. He's on the board. Jack Heller is the chairman. But it is really Maria Ruiz-Batzakis, and she's from Lincoln Center, and Eric Cohn, he's from IndieWire, who have brought people like Martin Scorsese, Michael J. Fox, Gary Cooper's daughter was there. I held her Oscar. And Tony Gilroy, on and on and on. We have IMAX now in the Hamptons. That's the greatest accomplishment of the year. And that's the best and worst
Good job.
of 2025. Play us out. That's Jim Turner, the best one-man band. And this is Air Hamptons. Thanks to all the lovely people that help us put it together this year. Everyone here behind the scenes at LTV. If you're watching their names, thank you. If you're listening, just Google it. And here is the man of the hour. If we had picked the best musician, he would have easily been in the top 50. No, Jim Turner. Thank you, sir.
Good job, Bill.
I'm as stunned as you are.